Hi, welcome, my name is Harold, and in this video we shall be talking about the eye-to-eye contact induction. So first of all, what we need to keep in mind is this is a very authoritarian induction, okay? Because it involves using the eye-to-eye direct gaze. And it has a multitude of uses, but it's more catered towards those individuals who prefer a more authoritarian approach. So it is a very traditional induction, and when performed well in the right context, it can be a really effective induction. So this is oftentimes when we think of the stage hypnotist who looks you in the eyes, look into my eyes, and it's that idea that we're using in this in this induction, and it has a stereotypical association with performance hypnosis or stage hypnosis, as this is often where it's seen the most. And it was actually made famous by if you've seen the show Little Britain's Kenny Craig. And although he is an interesting character, he has nothing to do with hypnosis. So for that reason, oftentimes with that association, it may be a better option to leave this technique as a last resort. Unless, of course, in the right context or situation, it can be a phenomenal induction. So when we are doing this induction, we need to be quite directive with this. So you want to ask your client to look into one of your eyes, and don't say, oh, I want you to look into one of my eyes. No, you have to be directive. Look into my eyes, look into this eye, look into my eyes. You want to be directive because this is a very authoritarian induction. You can even point at the eye you want them to look at, and that's quite directive, because if you're giving them the choice, look into one of my eyes, that's a bit more permissive. While if you say look into my eyes now, that's much more authoritarian. Do keep in mind that when you are doing this induction, to look at the bridge of their nose and not directly into their eyes. And the main reason for this is you don't want to hypnotize yourself. So in order to not hypnotize yourself, focus on the bridge of their nose. Secondly, it's important to look at the bridge of their nose because it stops you from feeling uncomfortable. Because if you look directly into their eyes, there can be a certain element of tension, a certain element of stepping into their personal space, and you want to remain grounded while doing this. So staring at the bridge of their nose would be a much safer and more comfortable option. And do keep in mind the discomfort that we're trying to create in our client in terms of the eye contact is important, because when we ask our client to close their eyes, this brings about relief from that discomfort. That's like, and they let go into a deep trance. So that's the important aspect of this induction, is that the eye contact creates a certain level of discomfort, and closing their eyes causes relaxation, relief from that discomfort. And another important thing to keep in mind is, if you're using this induction, commit the script to memory, because you can't be staring into their eyes and then staring at your script and staring back into their eyes. You can't do that. You need to maintain eye contact when you're doing this induction. So it's important to have a general structure of the script in mind or memorized within you so that you can reproduce it from your memory when doing this induction. When you are delivering the script, speak in a little faster pace than you normally will. Instead of, and now look into my eyes, you want to be a little bit faster, a little bit more authoritarian. And now I would like you to look into my eyes now, right? And without being too aggressive, look into my eyes now. That's not how you do it. You want to be authoritarian, not aggressive. Look into my eyes now, in that way. So a little bit faster than the usual pace that you would use. So those are the 4 aspects of the technique. Now, in terms of contraindications, if it is culturally inappropriate or impolite to look directly into someone's eyes or into another person's eyes, be aware of that and use a different technique. And of course, consider the appropriateness of this induction according to the presenting symptom that your client is presenting. So for example, if it's due to a certain trauma or abuse or bullying, that look into my eyes or staring them directly into their eyes in that manner can take them back to that experience. If there was that confrontational nature to their previous experience, so we don't want to do that. That'll cause problems. So in either of these cases, avoid using this technique. Now, before we take a look at the script, very quickly, just a few extra pointers regarding this technique. Now, this does require close proximity, so for that reason, be aware of your breath. Garlic, onions, consider using a mint, or brushing your teeth before you're actually doing this induction. And the other aspect to be aware of is, if your client is wearing glasses, ask your client to remove their glasses. And you can even suggest this in a slightly more authoritarian manner, so that you can even begin to set the tone. Okay, I would like you to remove your glasses, put your hands down on your lap, a little bit more directive, a little bit more authoritarian. So you're beginning to set the tone of this induction. And as you do this, you can directly go into the script itself. Okay, so now let's take a look at the script. So ask your client to look into one of your eyes, okay, while you look into the bridge of their nose to avoid being hypnotized yourself. Alright, so let's go through the script. So, look into my eyes now. And I want you to continue to look into that eye. And your eyes are beginning to feel tired. Your eyelids are feeling heavy, very heavy. And you're feeling sleepy and tired. And in a few moments, I am going to count to 3, and at the count of 3, your eyes will close. And you will go to sleep, deep asleep. And as you are falling ever deeper asleep, your head is going to feel very heavy. And as your head gets heavier and heavier, you will begin to fall forward towards your chest. And when your chin touches your chest, you will fall twice as deep asleep. So as you can see, these suggestions were very authoritarian in nature. And if you carry out the script and you notice that your client isn't ready to follow on with these suggestions, simply repeat it again, the whole script again. And then when you are happy and you believe that they're ready, you can continue. So ready. 1. Your eyelids are getting heavier and heavier. 2. Heavier and heavier. 3. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Go deep asleep. Deep asleep. Deep, very deep asleep. And your head is feeling heavy now. Heavier and heavier. And it's falling forward. And when your chin touches your chest, you go twice as deep asleep. And that's essentially the eye-to-eye induction. So this is one that you can practice, and once you got this script memorized, when the time comes, it's a very effective induction in the appropriate situation and context. Thank you.